Alireza by surprise.
It caught Alireza by surprise, but also impressive how Alireza took his time in the opening and was able to handle that pressure, was able to combat all those attacking tactical ideas by Jan. And talking about attacking tactical ideas, we've got a Chessable London. David, does this surprise you?
Yes and no. Alireza actually started with one knight to c3, a really rare move at the top level. But the last time he played it was against Jan Nepomniachtchi at the Tata Steel Masters, where using the Chessable London by transposition, he actually wiped Jan off the board in under 30 moves. So he has great experiences from the white side Firouzja against Jan in recent history. But of course, when you repeat the same opening, your opponent will have studied it, and Jan mixes up switches up his openings here. He doesn't employ the same variation he did, and wow, look at this. Nepomniachtchi kind of giving a frown there, trademark facial expression from him. But Alireza is going for fire on the board. G for go, that G1, launching forward, and big threat already on the board. But this is again shaping up to be a big fight.
Look at Jan, he decided to ignore it for now by creating threats of his own on the b2 pawn. And yes, this g5 move, it looks annoying, you're kicking the knight, but you may also welcome it into the center, and trades, they don't necessarily hurt black as white, who is lacking in development, because you're pushing pawns instead of developing pieces. So now Alireza on the clock doesn't seem particularly. Sometimes he's opening tricks and traps. You may trick yourself, because when your opponent just plays quite standard chess, you may have created some holes and weaknesses in your own game.
And it is a bit, it surprises me that Alireza played g4. We were excited to see this move, and then queen b6. A natural looking developing move, you're attacking the b2 pawn, you get your queen to a square where it eventually does land up very often in these lines. And then Alireza takes a long think right now. It feels like he came up with a surprise, but then he surprised himself. He finally chooses a move that defends b2, but to me, rook b1 is a bit of an ugly move. You've already played g4, your king isn't going to castle on the short side, and now with rook b1, you take away a long side queen side, a long-term queen side castle as well from your king. I'm not very sure about white's position right now. I think Jan should be happy with this.
Already played the Chessable London, one of the most aggressive openings out there. Shout out to our friend James Canty. But yeah, rook b1 is not an aggressive move, so it's not in the spirit of the position. I agree with you, Tanya. It feels and smells wrong. It feels inconsistent at the very least. White's moving rook to b1. Now white will never castle queenside, therefore the white king is kind of caught in two minds. Where's it going to end up? You've committed, you've opened up your own king side already. Yeah, I don't like it at all for Firouzja, especially the time usage. It feels like Nepomniachtchi, yet again, just like the previous game, has won the opening battle. Nothing kind of substantial, of course. It's not winning for either side.
Success with, you mentioned it, David, that in Tata Steel, a classical tournament, Alireza beat Jan, and it was quite a one-sided game. But players, they study from their losses. They
case, Robert, he'll be looking at just recapturing on h7 with his rook as well. The top players, they look at forcing moves first, the most direct path. If he isn't sure about the conclusion there, if he's not sure about what comes next, then he might take a timeout and start improving pieces. I'm not sure how to improve though. White's light squared bishop, I guess, not participating in the action right now, but it does look like black will soon be ready to push pawns on the queen side. So I think Alireza will get itchy fingers here and do something dramatic. Do something very direct. What that is, I mean, the more the g6, the more I think it's super tempting. But yeah, whatever he decides, he needs to do it quickly. 1 minute feels like a bit of time to calculate, but ultimately 1 minute will disappear so quick and he gets the rooks off the board. But now the black b pawn is only going to be a few squares away. Is it just a race now? There we go. Bertie the b pawn runs, but Gary the g pawn could also run in the near future. This is getting really, really dramatic.
And it's such a tightrope to walk on because this is the final rapid game. How much risk do you actually take in this one? Because there's no turning back from it. To me now it looks like the b-pawn is Bertie's more dangerous than Gary, and I don't think people have said that too much in the history of chess. But in this particular position, b1 will land with a check, Robert.
Yeah, I was just laughing. That was a hilarious sentence with me. This is such a threat that even after knight takes bishop, I still think black can play b3. Because knight takes knight, pawn to b2, you are not stopping a queen from landing on b1 with checkmate. So there may be a way out for white because the evaluation score is in the center, but Jan right now, he has the time, he should be calculating. Can I win with pawn to b3? I think that knight d6, it barely allows white to escape. Perhaps there will be a repetition of moves because the black king doesn't have enough breathing room, so you can just keep checking it on the 7th and 8th rank. But this is a big moment for Jan Nepomniachtchi. Do you take back this knight? He says no, and the engine does not budge, but there's probably an only move here after a brilliant choice from Jan Nepomniachtchi. Perhaps the only move from him to keep the balance.
Oh, that last move is going to be like a cold shower for Firouzja. Suddenly he realizes he's got 2 moves to save himself, or at least 2 turns before that black b pawn lands, and he finds the best move, the only move for white to save the game. And I saw a feature chat saying, how can this position be equal? Looks like black's about to deliver checkmate, make a new queen, but black's king cannot run. And yeah, this one is now just a draw. Wow, so much drama. 20 seconds for Firouzja. He doesn't risk it, he doesn't play on. We're about to see a repetition. Cameras now. It is going to be a draw. Both players, though, just reeling from that burst, that flurry of excitement.
Just unbelievable. 2 draws, but such fighting chess. Right, so topsy-turvy by both these players. And this last one, allowing black's pawn to